Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and as always, thank you for clicking in. Given the extreme response to the COVID-19 outbreak, we're seeing a closure of gyms all over the world. This change presents a major issue for both advanced trainees and even of those who are just beginning to gain momentum with fitness. However, not all is lost. Specifically in this video, I'm going to provide a science-based workout routine that can be implemented at home with no particular equipment requirements. These routines are intended to help you grow or maintain muscle, better help strength, or lose fat depending on your personal goals. So let's get started with episode 1 of my at-home fitness series, maximizing your at-home full body workout. Now the first question on your mind may be, how can a home workout be effective given the absence of specialized equipment? Well, we need to first understand that mechanical tension is the primary mechanism for muscle hypertrophy. By that logic, the key to an effective home workout is to use your body weight in an intelligent and targeted manner. In doing so, you can generate an adequate level of mechanical tension on each specific muscle group. Now, before we dive into the details, it's necessary that you understand a few vital rules for effective home workouts. Rule number 1, perform enough effective reps. The surest way to guarantee hypertrophy is to activate large number of motor units that are linked to specific muscle groups. Recruitment of these motor units occurs in greater and greater capacity as you approach failure and push the threshold of your body's limits. Therefore, my recommendation is to take each set to RPE 7 to 10. In other words, ensure that you're always fewer than 3 reps from failure on any given set of a given exercise. Rule number 2, limit yourself to 30 reps per set. A 2018 study examining the impacts of training intensity reported similar levels of hypertrophy when volume was equated using 40, 60, and 80% of the 1 rep max. However, the same volume using 20% of the 1 rep max resulted in half the increase in muscle mass relative to the previous results. The basic takeaway from these findings is that performing an excessive quantity of reps with little weight significantly deteriorates muscle gain. Consequently, I recommend at most 30 reps per set in order to ensure maximum hypertrophy stimulus. Lastly, if you're worried that 20 to 30 reps is too much, refer to point 1 that if we take a muscle group closer to failure, we can recruit a similar amount of motor units and fast twitch muscle fibers as we would in the lower rep ranges. Also, the higher rep ranges are better at providing a higher metabolic stress stimulus than the lower rep ranges, which also is a key factor in muscle hypertrophy. But if the exercise is too easy and you can get over 30 reps, I'll provide simple ways you can increase the difficulty of each exercise. Now that we covered how to execute the home full body workout, let's get started. The first exercise we're going to start with is the narrow grip incline push-up. Perform the exercise with the shoulder width grip, with your hand placement low, slightly closer to your knees. Research has shown that these minor adjustments both provide higher activation in the chest and triceps. We will perform 2 sets of that and move on to decline push-ups. By elevating your feet, you'll change the angle of the press and allow for better activation in the clavicular head of the pec major. This will provide the best overall upper and lower chest stimulus when these exercises are combined. To further progress this movement, you can add a pause at the bottom where it was shown that there is a 7% increase of body weight tension at the bottom of the push-up. Additionally, you can use a backpack filled with household items to add even more tension to the exercise. Moving on to exercise number 2, which is the pike push-up. This exercise will emulate the movement pattern of a shoulder press. Ensure your core is tight, get into a V position, lower down as if you were coming down in a handstand position, and press up, but try pressing the tension towards a vertical motion or straight into the ground. If this exercise is too easy, you can elevate your feet on a chair or couch, or even attempt to perform them higher by walking your legs up a wall. Moving on to exercise number 3, which is the inverted row. We can perform this exercise with one arm in a doorway or by using a table. Depending on which part of your back you'd like to target, we can more focus on the lats or mid-back traps and rhomboids. To better target the lats, I recommend pulling your body where you tuck your elbow in and lead towards your hip, where you'll emphasize a shoulder extension movement to better target your V taper. To better target your lats, mid-back, and rhomboids, flare your elbows, perform transverse shoulder abduction to more focus on back thickness. To increase the difficulty of the movement, you can add more tension by putting on a weighted backpack or slow down the eccentric phase of the lift to increase time under tension. I do like to recommend this for back movements in general, as it can be hard to gain a strong mind-muscle connection, as a more controlled tempo will also help improve this. Moving on to one muscle you can't ignore if you're looking to build muscle and improve aesthetics is the lateral deltoid. The side delt's main function is shoulder adduction, and this can be done using your body weight if performed correctly. Get into a plank position, and then by using a strong mind-muscle connection, rotate your body and use as much tension on your shoulder as possible to perform the rotation. You may need assistance by using your core, but by performing the twisting motion, we can take advantage of our body weight and add tension to this area. If this exercise is too hard, you can perform doorway lateral raise holds. You can force your arms to the outside to perform an isometric contraction for a length of time, and then superset it by stepping away from the door and performing unloaded lateral raises by contracting them and raising your arms up. Since mechanical tension and progressive overload is needed to maximize muscle hypertrophy, I recommend trying to perform bodyweight lateral raises as soon as you can. Exercise 5 is going to be the seated pull-up. I recommend taking a sturdy broomstick over 2 chairs, but since I don't have that, I suggest the sliding pull-in. If you have a smooth floor or even a carpet, use something solid and pull your body weight in a vertical pulling motion as you would in a lat pull down or pull up. Although this may be too easy for many, you can widen your handles and perform a lat pull-in type motion, as it will lengthen the moment arm of the movement and create more tension in the lats. As you're progressing, perform this with a single arm and with a weighted backpack to keep this movement challenging moving forward. Now moving on to arms, exercise 6 is the doorway or inverted curl. Depending on your home setup, you can perform inverted curls and adjust the position of your legs to change the difficulty of the movement. Where I don't have a great setup for this, I would recommend single arm doorway curls. Grab onto the doorway and perform elbow flexion to activate your biceps. By changing the height of your grip, you can add body weight tension to your biceps and increase the difficulty of the movement. Now moving on to triceps, we can perform elbow extension by performing body weight skull crushers. I really like this one because by placing your arms overhead, you'll force the long head of the triceps into a biomechanical disadvantage, as the long head of the triceps does cross the shoulder joint. Starting off by standing close to something sturdy and elevated, bend over with a tight core and move your body weight by extending at the elbow. The progression to this is to step further away from your chosen handles and eventually elevate your feet. If this is not an option, you can always slow the tempo and perform one arm at a time. Lastly, moving on to legs. Exercise 8 is the assisted pistol squat. Depending if you want to target your posterior chain or quads more, we'll perform a slight variation by changing the center of gravity of the load, which is our body weight. To more focus on your posterior chain, we're going to lean back a bit to move the center of gravity back, like in a back squat. To focus on the quads, we will lean forward to load like a front squat and increase the range of motion of knee extension. Use a doorway or sturdy pole-like structure as assistance. Keep your chest up and spine neutral to keep the load on your midfoot to heel. Press through your midfoot and stand up straight with a tight core to perform this movement. To progress, you can perform an explosive concentric to recruit more motor units, and you can easily load this one as well, along with slowing down the tempo as mentioned earlier. Moving forward to the last exercise, we'll be performing the sliding leg curl. This exercise actively keeps the hips extended while you flex at the knee to maximally activate the hamstrings, as it is a bi-articulated muscle, where 75% of the muscle crosses the hip and knee joint. Along with the biomechanics mentioned, the EMG research also shows a high activation in this movement as well. To further increase activation in the hamstrings, you can plantar flex at the ankle as best as you can throughout the entire range of motion, and you can even superset by continuing the set once fatigued by dorsiflexing at the ankle and making the movement easier to perform a few extra reps. To simplify the progression, you can also perform a single leg and and even hold a load at your hips to add even more tension. That is the last exercise, but to execute the minor details of the program, we need to control the rest time. If you're looking to maximize hypertrophy, 1 to 2 minutes rest between sets will be enough. But if you're looking to get stronger at a movement, you can even rest 2 to 4 minutes depending on your preferences. Here I have compiled the exercises into a superset sequence of antagonist body parts to speed up the workout time along with better stimulant hypertrophy so you can save time. Moving forward, I would recommend performing this workout 3 to 4 times a week, depending on your fitness level, to ensure your body is maximally stimulated, ensure you have enough volume per week, and keep you in an anabolic state. Progression-wise, I did not provide a rep range since strength levels vary, but if you follow the principles I explained earlier on effective reps and regulating your rep ranges, we can optimize muscle hypertrophy. To continue to progress, you can start with the easier variations and move to the harder ones and eventually add load to the exercise with common household items such as a water jug and loading up a backpack. You can easily pause and slow the tempo of all the exercises, as well increase the time under tension to make the movements harder. If you guys would like to try this workout at home, you can have easy access to it on your mobile device. I made it available to download for free in the link in the description below. It will include the workout, how to execute it, with some exercise tutorial notes to help guide you through it all. As mentioned, you can download it in the link in the description below, so you won't have to jump around and skip through the video when you're trying this at home. So if you're able to execute the programming and progression I shared with you, you will be able to maximize your at-home workouts and fitness, where paying attention to the fine details will make all the difference. If you are looking for more in-depth one-on-one help, I do provide online fitness coaching where I custom write a periodized training and diet program for your body and fitness goals, providing weekly check-ins, 24/7 support to my personal phone number, and lastly, unlimited adjustments to all of the protocol to ensure 100% satisfaction. This is the same service I provide to my top-level physique athletes, and now it is open to you. Currently, I am running a sale on this for a limited time, so please apply below in the description as there are limited spots available. Don't miss out and take advantage of your downtime and transform your body. And lastly, if I was able to help you out, please like the video, subscribe if you're not part of the team, as I'll be continuing my at-home fitness series moving forward.